It's minicamp and OTA season, and today we're looking at the Dallas Cowboys and getting another look at Jaydon Blue. We're going to watch him work through some drills, run some routes, everything else. But before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now because we're looking at practice. Rookie camp, OTAs minicamp, training camp, all of it. We're looking at your rookies. We're looking at your position battles. Those guys you're drafting in fantasy football here soon. It's all right here. Click that button. Stop missing out. You want to see what the players are doing on your favorite team? It's right here. We're looking at Jaden Blue today. 44 seconds. I had to dig for these clips and find them. I did a video on him a couple weeks ago. It's just a 5-second clip because that's all I could find. The Cowboys have been scarce with their clips. I found some more. We're going to loop this and keep talking ball on Jaden Blue, but here we go. Here we go. This was the initial first clip. I did a whole video on just this. Just that, and it blew up. Here's more. This is from Dallas Cowboys themselves. Hopefully they bless me and allow me to keep it up. But there he is. Boom. Getting underneath the pads. Jaden Blue. So I do this series where I cover high school recruiting. And I cover the highlights. I cover the 24/7 sports player profile page of those players. Blue was like one of the first players that started that series. And it took off. And Blue is a highly coveted prospect coming out of high school. He ran 100 meters in the 10s. I remember that. Had a blazing speed to him, even back then. We get to Texas, and you're like looking at the stats, and you're like, wonder what happened. What's the big deal about Blue? He was playing with some dogs there. But you got to go look at the tape. You got to look at his attributes. Catch the ball out of the backfield. We're explosive. We're electric in space, downfield. All that together. And you look at this team and how they're built. You got Javonte Williams. You got Miles Sanders there. And you're looking for a guy like this for that change of pace. You got your fastball. You got your curveball. Obviously, with his speed, he'd look like the fastball. Obviously. But it's more than just that. 196 pounds at the combine. What I saw at playerprofiler.com before uploading the video. The thing about him, though, we're thick. We got some thickness. We're explosive. Catch the ball out of the backfield well. We can also run it between the tackles. This is a running back that's flying under the radar for some folks, just due to Texas having a lot of dogs at the running back position. He has been a running back prospect that I've been keeping my eye on throughout his collegiate career from what I saw at the high school level. And then he just had moments at Texas where you're like, oh, there's Blue. I've just been waiting for him to get his moments. And it might be with the Dallas Cowboys. Now, there were other running backs on the clock I did like better overall than Blue. But how he fits on this team for the Dallas Cowboys, this could be a big-time playmaker for them. This could be a sneaky X factor over time. A sneaky curveball play that they have out in the flat, catch a few balls here and there, carves out a bigger role. I want to see what Javonte Williams and how he holds up during training camp with this team. I think that's going to be a sneaky play for this team. Miles Sanders is always good at training camp. Miles Sanders is built for training camp, minicamp, and OTAs. That is his Super Bowl, and then you get in season, you're going to wonder what happened. And if that happens, that might slow down Blue and his ability to get up the depth chart, but over time, if Sanders is still around and makes it through training camp, because he may not make it through, then Blue's eventually going to usurp him. Just too much pop, too much upside. Miles Sanders has been doing his thing these last few years, you definitely know. He's got some upside as well, but we've kind of seen the downside too much. Javonte Williams, when healthy, he can roll, and he's got good vision. This isn't like the Jaden Blue hype-up video. This is also talking about the backfield. Javonte Williams and a guy like Jaden Blue together, I think that's a perfect match. Like, you got that running back that can still get it between the tackles, but is very electric in space, and a guy like Javonte Williams just taking touch after touch after touch, grinding it out, using that vision and footwork. I hope he does well in camp and gets by in camp so we get into the regular season, he's ready to rock and roll. And I think Jaden Blue could be a surprising factor for this team. Now, a lot of people are looking at this for fantasy football. redraft depending on how you play. And I will recommend this. You need to have a few lottery ticket rookie running backs. 1, 2, 3. Depending on how deep your format is, your benches are, you need to have one of those late round guys on the back end of your roster just in case, and you can turn and burn them throughout the season. I will have separate videos on all those guys. I will have videos relentlessly on those guys. I do that every year, but it's most prominent this year. This is one of the most talented running back classes of the NFL's lifetime, and my lifetime, and your lifetime. At the top, at the bottom, in the middle, UDFAs. We're going to find some late rounders that have some upside, that do some things on the field. Could be Blue, could be somebody else, but you're going to want a few of those guys. You're going to want a few of those guys. Seasonal leagues, those cheap rookies, those guys you consider waiver wire fodder, you may want to just have one on that last spot. And why we recommend having a lottery ticket as your last spot, because usually at a point of your draft, it's just gatekeeper players anyways. Like, sure, they may get you a nice cozy 9 to 10 points per game on average throughout the season, but mostly aren't really functional week to week anyways, and guys that you reluctantly put in your lineup when you have to. But if that lottery ticket player hits and becomes the next Alfred Morris or something like that, and you're good at the rest of your draft, at the rest of your positions, it's over. You win the league. It's over. You're going to win that league. You're going to make a good run for the playoffs. You're going to be tough to stop. Where if you have that ancillary wide receiver that's doing okay, that is just ho-hum, that you can pick up another wide receiver just like him that might be a little bit less off the waiver wire. I guess point-wise, 90% of the time, that's going to look like a better play. But like 1 or 2 times out of 10 years when you're doing that trick, it's going to win you money. It's going to win you money. And it's going to be a factor. Jaden Blue could be that. Now, if you're looking at that for Dynasty Fantasy Football, I have a few different opinions here. And when you're looking at where he's going ADP-wise, usually somewhere in the second round, with those late round running backs, sometimes third round, pick your poison. However, I've seen what you guys have been doing. I've seen it. I've been on Twitter. I'm not always the loudest there because I'm the loudest here. The first round of this year's rookie draft class is jumping the shark a little bit. Some of you guys have seen it. Don't get too much out of your skis on day 3 running backs with your capital. It's good to be excited. It's good to be excited, and he does have that Dallas Cowboy premium to him. And if I'm a Cowboys fan, I'm not understanding what I'm talking about for rookie drafts. The market is saying they are excited about Jaydon Blue, which means you got a player with a lot of potential. And that's not me saying it. That's me reading the market and what people are saying with their cold hard cash drafting in Dynasty Fantasy Football. He's got a good fit with this team. Another thing, you added George Pickens. You got CeeDee Lamb. You can't stack the boxes. You can't stack the boxes. You can on certain situations. You can't stack it. So Javonte Williams, I've talked about him a bunch. Jaden Blue, Miles Sanders, whatever you're getting out of him, if you're getting anything out of him. You can't stack the box. Phil Maffa, you want me to talk about him? I'll talk about him. There ain't many clips on him, so how am I going to get a video on him till training camp? Maffa, for the draft capital, for what you're getting, high-end recruit coming out of high school, not the most productive running back in college, but for the capital, per the talent, could be a sneaky play. Could be a sneaky play deep down the line. Not right now, but could be a sneaky play deep down the line you need to pay attention to. Could be a surprise option. That's what I'm talking about. Could be. I'm not guaranteeing anything, but another guy to pay attention to. This running back depth chart, although on the outside, if you're not paying attention to it too much, could seem a little bit ambiguous. But you got some guys here that could turn some heads. And the big guy here at it is George Pickens. Because he's going to get an average depth of target in the double digits. He's going to be relied upon to win those one-on-one contested catches downfield. He's going to get those deep shots. And that's going to help CeeDee Lamb. That's going to help everybody else. And then the running game's going to loosen up. It's going to loosen up. And that's what's going to help things out. But again, going back to Jaydon Blue, we got speed, we got explosiveness, we can catch the ball in the backfield, fits well with this offense, and you're just watching him to see if he gets his opportunity. Overall fantasy, all formats, lottery ticket play, a lot of upside, a lottery ticket play a lot of people are into, a lottery ticket play that ultimately could turn around any of your fantasy teams. A guy to definitely pay attention to. And then you're watching training camp too, because running backs can go down in training camp, and next thing you know, Jaden Blue is looking like he's going to be the guy going into week 1. That is something to pay attention to. I'm excited about what he could do and how he could deliver for the Dallas Cowboys. I want to know if you are too. Let me know in the comments. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.